Easily entertained, like a book club, but for people with short attention spans.
Strap in, ladies.
There's gonna be spoilers. Hi guys, welcome back.
Hi.
Every time I'm sorry. Every time that just makes me laugh. Hi.
Well, welcome to Easily Entertained. If it's your first time listening, that's weird because this is a second part. But I'm Sam.
I'm Grae.
I'm Sammi.
And we're going to be talking about the second half of Crash Landing on You today, which is super exciting. We kind of left it off on a cliffhanger last time.
Yes.
We did.
Yeah. It was definitely our longest episode ever. It was an hour and like 48 minutes. So I commend anyone who listened to the whole thing.
Yes, kudos to you.
True MVP.
And now we have a part 2.
Yes, you are as memorable as Captain Ree in my eyes.
And it gets even more wild, which is hard to imagine, you know? Like
this, the second half is it's emotionally riveting.
Yeah. A roller coaster.
Yeah. So we left off last time. Do you want to I assume that we just want to jump into it. Do we want to talk about, anything that's happened since? Really hold off that that cliffhanger? Or do you just want to jump into it?
Let's jump in.
I say we just go.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no. There is one thing that I need to talk about. Oh my god, I just remembered it. So okay.
Oh,
In Korea, there's this horrible magazine called Dispatch that what they do, they're like a tabloid, right? And every year on New Year's Eve, they expose a couple, which is horrible and invasive, and I do not condone it. However, the couple this year was Hyun Bin and the actress for you, Son Ye Jin. I can't believe I forgot her name. Her name's Son Ye Jin. Captain Ree and Seri are dating in real life. Love is real.
Oh my
I was just about to
gosh.
say love is real. Yeah.
That's exciting.
I
How
know.
long? I want the details now.
I know. Well, I don't know. I don't want to go into their life too much. I just felt like, man, the chemistry in this show was real.
It was
you
real.
know?
Oh yeah.
It was real.
Oh my
When
god.
did they film this again? Or when did this come out? Probably would have been.
This came out in the fall of 2019 or the winter of 2019.
Dang. So they probably filmed maybe late 2018, early 2019.
They actually filmed really close to when things were done. So I think it was like the summer of 2019. It was.
Yeah. Well, that's coming up on almost 2 years, like a year and a half since they've known each other.
I don't know.
Well, they were in a movie before this together.
Mm-hmm.
So
About a hostage negotiation.
Oh yes, we did talk about that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so. Oh, now I'm really invested in their relationship. How did you even access this?
I saw it on Twitter.
Magazine.
Yeah. Oh, the magazine. Speak Korean. No. No, it was big on Twitter.
Wow.
Because everybody thought it was going to be a K-pop idol, and it ended up being them. But I was excited for them.
I love this.
Yeah. Okay, so now that we've gotten the fact that love is real for our February episode out of the way.
Oh yes.
Then we can go.
Love is real for some people.
Yeah.
Well,
not necessarily for me.
Yeah. Well,
I love my friends and my family. That's about it.
Love is very real. It is ever present around us. Romantic love is overrated.
Yes,
anyway.
That's what I meant. Good, thank you, Sam. Very true. As she's the one in the happy, healthy relationship.
Listen, who could have seen it happen? Honestly, not me. No, I'm just gonna laugh at my own life. Anyway,
you know what we forgot to say during the last episode?
What's that?
Before every episode, the little thing that comes up that says this is not real. This is not really how.
Yeah, that's probably.
I can't remember exactly what it said, but I think it's important.
all
no claim to North Korea here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like they put that in to be like, stay
Yeah.
safe from
Oh
country.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I've seen you see that in a lot of shows that deal with, like,
But normally I feel like it's at the end, like in American shows, wouldn't you say
Yeah.
it's like, oh, we're gonna pop this in at the end.
Yeah.
like
this one
all
is-
characters are fictitious.
Yes.
Nothing's based on
This one is like right in the beginning. Also, before we dive in, sorry, I just feel like we didn't discuss the opening credits little, what do you call it?
the song.
I really like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know how, Netflix will give you the option, like, do you want to watch this? And I usually always choose to watch it because it's like short, it's cute. I mean, then you do have to watch the scene from before, but I enjoy it, which some
Yeah.
shows I do not. And I'm like, please skip. But I always like it. It's so cute.
Yeah, it's like it's a juxtaposition of how she is in Seoul and how everybody is in North Korea. It's very cute, and it's got like a nice little like song, and I like it.
Okay, now we can jump into the good stuff.
All the good stuff. Okay, so episode 9 begins. And they're like, okay, it's obviously halfway through the series. We're not going to kill off the main protagonist quite yet. So
Not yet.
Not yet, at least. So you immediately find out that Sari didn't get shot. She was just like, they wanted to take the cell phone away from her. She said, I love you to Ree. And then there was like a little bit of a tussle and the gun went off and shot the like cloth top of the truck that she was in. But like while she's, I guess, being kidnapped, and you don't know who she's being kidnapped by. So the state security department comes to Ree's house to look for Sari, and Ree like punches Cholgong in the face,
Love
bad guy, and they arrest him, which like, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, probably for punching. Yes.
Yeah. Arrested for punching. Don goes to visit him in the detention center and is basically like, keep him in prison until our wedding day. Just like so he doesn't run away from me. I'm like, oh, makes sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the rat's son, the rat, of course, being the wiretapper, his name's Manbok. Yeah, his son, Wonpil, I think, or Upil.
Upil.
Wonpil's a K-pop idol. He's in day 6. He finds the present that Sari had wrapped because it was Christmas, and he gives it to the rat. And the rat realizes that it's a watch that Ree's brother owned.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sari finds out that she's like in somebody's house. She talks to this dude and she's like, hey, there's nothing between me and Captain Ree. Like, don't worry about it, because she thinks it's Don's dad, but it's not Don's dad.
No, it is not.
Don's dad is dead.
Dang.
It's true. And this like lady comes up to her and is super nice and is like, why don't you sleep in a bed tonight and I'll feed you food, and I didn't poison it, I promise. Because it's Ree's mom and she's there at Ree's house. It's Captain Ree's dad kidnapped her to figure out who she was and why his son was behaving foolishly.
Listen, the first thing I wrote down for this episode, I don't know who said it. I said he's fuming mad, but that only makes him more attractive. Who said that? I know it's about Captain Ree, and it's true.
It was wasn't it the ladies outside of his house?
Yeah, it was one.
I know what they're talking about.
Those ladies were us. You know what I mean? Like they really embodied.
They were.
A lot of the simpiness.
Yeah. Oh my god.
If you could be one of the ladies from the village, who would it be?
Ooh.
The one that said that.
Well, the one, I think was that the one that's like in charge, like she's the village head. Because there's the general's wife who's like technically like everybody sucks up to her, but then there's the one that's the village head. I think I'd probably be the rat's wife because I don't have a backbone.
What? Who's left? I have to either be the weird one or the
weird one. Oh, the hairdresser.
Yeah, I'll be her. She's fun. She just tries to have people like her.
I mean, sure, why not?
Like
I like the village head because she gets drunk and like messes everything up. I resonate with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Us last episode.
Truth.
Yeah, that was right before he got arrested. So as Sari is in this room, she realizes that it's Captain Ree's like room from his growing up, like his childhood. She gets to like look at all these pictures and play his piano. It's very precious.
Mhm.
You can. This just makes me like, that they're gonna like, they're in love. Like,
Yeah, they're meant to be, because the
Truly.
song that she keeps on playing is the song that he wrote for his dead brother. Okay. I'm getting emotional, and I've watched this show too many times. So while Sari is like kidnapped, Captain Ree told his troop to like spread around the rumor that he's the son of the director of the General Political Bureau, which is the truth. It's not a rumor, but like, so basically everybody's like, oh crap, we're detaining somebody important. Let's get him the heck out. So he ends up out of the detention center and drove straight to his dad's house to like confront his dad. And oh my God,
this thing was too much.
it was so. He confronts his dad and he says, "If you keep me from the woman I love, you'll have a like second dead son." And like, like yeah, the feels.
Which is
So
like crazy because like sons don't normally stand up to their dads like that, you know? So like that was like
yeah, yeah, and obviously he feels like the pressure to live up to whatever standard his dad. Like he went immediately to the military, even though he had this like piano career, because his older brother couldn't do what his dad needed him to do because he was dead. So
Nice. Yeah.
the love.
He really loves her. So his mom like pulls her out of hiding and is like, no, she's here. Like, don't freak out. You don't die, please. She's here. And they kind of like are hanging out, and she finally plays the piano song, and he realizes that it's the song that he wrote for his brother, and that they're meant to be, because she was on the boat in the lake and he was on the dock playing the song. And it's like, that's the moment I think that they realize like how intertwined their lives are, you know.
Absolutely.
They're just meant to be. That's the end of it. They're meant to be. Chulgang brings like some of his troops and like the military director's troops into Captain Ree's house to like search for Sari. But she's not there because he like got her out of Dodge and asked a favor of the senior colonel to go back to the front line with his company, which he wasn't supposed to do for like months, but he went early so that he could help Sari get back to South Korea. So the military found nothing. So Chulgang was embarrassed in front of the military director, and that's like the beginning of his downfall in North Korea. That's for sure. The troops and Captain Ree like have this last like moment with Sari, and then she goes to the line of demarcation between the DMZ and South Korea, and Ree like walks her to the line, and the troops are waiting, and they're like, he should have been back by now, and he said that he was lost so that he could spend more time with her. And then they finally get to the line, and he says that he couldn't step a foot over it, so she starts walking, and then and then he walks over the line and kisses her.
No, that was like, they could have ended the show there, you know?
They really could.
They could have just been like, oh, you know, but no.
He kisses her goodbye.
Yeah, I do want to say it was a beautiful moment, but I feel like the little tiny short little line of what's it called?
Demarcation. It's the 30 the like what?
Say that again.
The string that was like
yes, what's that called with the barbs on it? Barbed wire. The tiny little barbed wire line like at your feet. I mean, I would think they would have like some sort of like Trump wall or something. I'm just saying, they don't want people to leave.
Girl, the like 25 miles of minefields are the Trump wall. The little line of barbed wire is probably a trip wire to see if anybody trips over it.
Oh yeah,
South Korea.
You're right. So, like you
No, I
see,
thought the
it's
same thing though. Like
Yeah.
he made it sound like once he stepped over that line, he was gonna get like murdered right away.
that's what I
You
was
know?
scared of.
I think it was more just ideologically he's not allowed to cross the line in more ways than one, into South Korea, into Seti's heart.
Yeah, it's true.
Bruce.
That was like the first moment of the show, I think, that really like got me. You know? That was like
That was the first moment. Episode 9.
Like halfway
What?
through.
I'm shocked that was the first moment. I cried like a baby in like episode 4 with the candle in the middle of the.
oh yeah,
Oh.
that was sweet, but like that was the first time I cried. That was the first time I was like, oh, they can't be together. Like
It is heart-wrenching, especially when he goes home and Sari has said a million times like that you can tell who somebody is by looking at their bookshelf, and she arranged the books in his bookshelf to spell out "I love you, Ri Jung-kyuk," and
yeah.
that's
Why couldn't he have just gone with her? He'd already crossed the line. Why don't just run?
because he's implicated a lot of people in this issue. Like his troops are on the line. That 17-year-old kid has family that he has to like send money back to. His dad could be implicated. Like there's a lot of people that
Just
are
go.
counting on Ri to
See,
not
I thought
cross
the
that
same
line.
thing, Grae. I was just like, just do it.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
go.
Honestly, like, I think you do. Like,
Like y'all are all probably gonna have a horrible life or die in some way. So you might as well just take your chance for love for one of you. I'm sure everybody would understand. Just saying.
I think that really speaks to his character though. He really understands like the responsibility of, you know what I mean? Like
True.
he's put himself in a position where he's responsible for more
Yeah.
than just his own
He
feelings.
puts others over himself, which that's tough.
That is tough. But that was the end of episode 9. We're on to episode 10. Seri shows up in South Korea. She got rescued once she like passed the line. And in the lobby of her office, there's this memorial with like a guest book and like a picture of her and flowers everywhere. And she like, bad bitch Yoon Seri. Let me tell you, she rocks up in the most gorgeous outfit with sunglasses on, and she's like, let me see what everybody wrote about me. Like she is like, I want to know. So her assistant like immediately just started crying and like hugging her, which I thought was cute. I think so. You can tell that her time like with Ri has kind of changed her to be instead of like thinking about herself or like how to like further herself, she's kind of more thoughtful for her
character development.
development.
Mhm.
Absolutely. She recognizes that there's other people's feelings to
Yeah,
take
like
into
she knows how to care about people. You know what I mean? Like she really learned that through him, and you can see that she likes her work people now. And
yeah, I don't think it was just through him though. You know what I mean? I think it was through the troops. I think they call them the ducklings, and through the village like ladies. I think she learned that she didn't have to be alone. She could kind of open herself up a little bit more to other people.
yeah,
We can all learn something from that.
True.
Vulnerability. Okay. Oh gosh. Couldn't be me. I'm the most vulnerable person I know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like you're pretty vulnerable.
I don't know why I don't have any water signs in my birth chart. Anyway, I don't know when this happened in this episode, but Sari flashed back to like when she was waiting to go across, like in the DMZ, they went to this old house where what you call him Pigeon.
I don't know what his name is. Pigeon.
It's where Pigeon was like, that's where he had the snake wine. But they said that it was the house of a woman whose son went off to war, and she waited for him, and Sari asked like, why do you think she waited so long, or do you think she ever gave up? And Ri said, if you give up on waiting, the pain of loss will kill you. That's why you wait. Which,
you know, I've said it once. I'll say it many times. Captain Ri is a real man. Like I was just everything about him.
Where do you find one like that?
he's the kind of person that we should all aspire to be, but especially men.
Especially them.
So Monbach, the rat, he wants to repay Captain Rhee by giving him like the evidence of everything that Cholgang has done this entire time. And that's the watch, like the watch that was in Seri's present. He realizes that's what has all of the information that Rhee's brother was going to use against Cholgang. So he gives it to Rhee and like explains everything. And it's incredibly emotional because this dude really, really loved his brother and kind of helped aid in his death, which is really sad.
Yeah. I think one thing, like, all of these characters, I mean, like, obviously they're actors or whatever, so, like, they should be good at what they do, but, like, they really, like, portray their emotions, you know, like, really well. Like, you know that he was, like, so, like, broken up over everything that he did, just, like, through his actions and through just, like, his face, you could tell.
Yeah.
Really it gets you.
Truly, it really did seem like he was, like, torn apart by this, and obviously he's just an actor. Like he was so well done.
Yeah,
honestly.
Side note, do they have like award shows for TV shows in Korea? I would think they would.
Yeah.
Has this won anything? Do we know?
Not that I know. I mean, I'm sure it has. It was a phenomenon. Like, you know what I mean? It was a really big show. But I don't know of any awards that it.
I'll do some research.
While you're looking that up, I'm just gonna continue a little bit. Seri left a letter for the ladies of the village where she like explained everything, that her name isn't Samsuk, and she's not where she explained literally everything, and they were just like kind of shocked by it.
They like believed her though, which I mean, it was true. Like it was her, but like I feel like I kind of question that a little bit, you know. I'm like, is she really? But they like right away, they're like, she's great. I knew, yeah, it was wild.
I know, and they felt so bad, like forever, like they really missed her. Which is sweet. We find out that Sungjun, aka our boy, hot guy number 2. There's got to be a better. Can we please just call him by his name? We find out that Sungjun helped Rhee and Seri get out of the dad's house by like distracting the guards and then driving them back to the village. And he told Dan that he did it for her so that she could get over her first love. And Dawn was hot mad, hot angry. Like she was not okay.
I do have an update. Yes, there is an equivalent to the Emmy/Oscars. It's an arts award, and it was the show was nominated for Best Drama. The lead actors were both nominated for Best Actor, Best Actress. Someone was nominated for Best Supporting. So I don't know what the results were of that, but they were nominated.
Hey,
as they should be.
Honestly, like I said, great show.
Great show.
So then Cholgang ends up like being tried for his crimes, and Rhee testifies against him, and Cholgang, like in a last-ditch effort, tries to say that Rhee like hit a South Korean woman in North Korea, and everyone was like, we don't trust you, we don't believe you, what are you talking about? Which is kind of funny.
Freaking crazy, like like a wild man. Like
yeah, he was again, he ended up being like sentenced to his like life in a labor camp, basically. Can
you imagine that? I'd be going crazy too.
Yeah,
it's like he knows what's coming, and it ain't good.
It isn't good. He promised, as he was like being taken away, he promised that he'd kill Seri, just like for everything that has been done against him. And Rhee was like, okay, you're going to labor camp, whatever.
Bye.
But as he's being like driven to the camp, you see these headlights and you realize that one of the like murder trucks from Cholgang's like army wasn't taken in. So the truck gets like rammed and Cholgang escapes.
Of
course, because it's only the 10th episode, baby. We got 6 more to go.
More. He can't be gone yet.
And we all know where he's going.
Oh yeah, he calls up our boy Captain Rhee and goes, haha, going south. Guess who I'm gonna go visit?
Dang.
So yeah.
Well, so Captain Ree knows that he's going to the south to
Yeah.
get her. So what do you think Captain Ree has to do, baby?
Well, yeah. We find out that Cholgong got a placement at Seri's like security office because you see him like pass her, and it's very scary.
Mm-hmm.
Then Seri's like in her apartment. She can't sleep. She doesn't have any sleeping pills, so she goes for a walk. Right? she goes for a walk in the middle of her neighborhood, which is Gangnam, which is it's like the song, right? Like Gangnam.
Gangnam style.
Yeah, it's the rich part. Seoul. So she's like walking through the street and she makes eye contact with Ree and he goes, "You didn't give me your address." He just was like walking through the neighborhood.
I felt like that moment was so like, I don't know, like, oh, he's just there, like, I guess nonchalant. I don't know. It was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. The guy walked.
It felt like it was right, you know, like.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, fate. They're like magnets.
Yeah, they do just kind of pop up in each other's lives.
Which leads you to question how the hell these people got to South Korea, you know?
Yeah. Well, the beginning of episode 11, we find out how they got to South Korea. Ree used an old gold mine tunnel to get to the south. He army crawled 10 miles with no rest over a period of 23 hours.
That's
a man.
He's a big man. He's got wide shoulders. That couldn't have been comfortable.
No.
Amazing. So this dude literally spent 23 hours like army crawling and then walked into South Korea and just like started walking around her neighborhood.
And looked like he like lived there, you know?
Yeah.
Like he was from there.
Yeah. Wild.
Doing that for somebody. It's like crawling for 23 hours.
I was thinking about that when I was watching him do it. Oh god, it just gave me anxiety. Like the tunnel was small, y'all. Okay.
Yeah.
Very small, dark.
You've made me run 13 miles, so I probably would crawl through a tunnel for you.
Yeah, like in the rain too. Did you guys do it in the rain or the snow? So
we did it in the very cold. We've done it in the rain. We've done it in the sun. I've run 39 miles altogether.
And how many miles was this again? This tunnel?
Well, now like a dick. All right, that's fine. I hit long appendages. It would be hard. Fine.
Oh no, yeah, I'm super claustrophobic. There's absolutely no way I'd crawl through a tunnel for anyone.
And the tunnel's like collapsing too. Yeah. Like it collapses behind him.
Yeah.
So you're not getting out.
I have a question about the tunnel now that we're talking about it. If they know about it, other people know about it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like, how aren't people just freaking in and out of both of them? Like,
because you have to crawl for 23 hours. Not everybody can do that. And clearly none of the three of us would. I live in Korea.
If I was escaping North Korea, I'd probably do it to escape North Korea. I probably would.
I think I would.
Send me to the labor camp. I'm fine.
Whoa.
I'm not doing it. I can't. There's a part in a haunted attraction that is near our home where you have to crawl, and I literally cried. And it wasn't even because I was scared of the people. It was just because I couldn't deal with being like locked up. It was bad.
So if you split it into like 5 hours a day, that's like almost 4 days it would take you.
Yeah.
If you crawl 10 hours a day, I feel like I could do that. That's like a work day.
Yeah, but then you have to sleep in the collapsing mine. No, you got to do the whole thing the whole way through because I'm not sleeping in that.
I don't know if I'd sleep. I'd take little breaks and like daydream about Siri or something or my freedom. You could do that in 2 days. 10-hour shifts.
Yeah.
Like 11-hour shifts.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Well, thankfully, none of us have to ever worry about
luckily, that. Yeah, it's fine. I hope not. Oh, God.
Wow. Okay, so Sam would not traverse the tunnel. Me and Sammy probably would try. Yeah. Would we make it? We don't know, but at least we tried.
Once again, I'm the one that like super believes in love too. Like I'm still like, no. We'll find another one.
I'm escaping for love. I'm escaping for my freedom.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't care. I get that. I respect your commitment to getting out.
Yeah, self-preservation. That's what we're at.
Self-preservation. I also don't like boats, so like can't do that.
Oh my gosh, you don't. Sam would just be stuck.
I'd be stuck. I'd just be in North Korea. I gotta learn the dialect. I don't know.
Yeah, where were
they're in the middle of the street, and he says that he's there to protect Seri and stop Cholgang, and that he'll be like going back to North Korea once that's done. And she's like, well, then you're gonna stay with me at my apartment. Clearly.
Obviously. Like, where else would this man go?
Yeah, right. So
Where do you
Seri,
think the bad guy's staying?
What?
Just like, where do you think he's staying?
probably in one of those warehouses that he likes to hide in.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
I was thinking like a hotel room or something, but that makes more sense.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be able. Well, he's got like he says that he's Chinese. That's how he got the job. I don't know. He could be. He's probably, but it's probably one of like the warehouses.
Never thought about that until now.
Yeah. So Seri is talking to Ree, like catching up, and she says that her family was happy to see her come back, which is a lie. Her brothers aren't good people. But like it's what?
It's really sad. A lot of
really sad. Yeah. No, so her second brother and his wife come over to like intimidate her out of causing trouble, and admit that they knew that she was in North Korea. And Ree is like overhearing this, and like he's immediately like, oh, her family sucks. So yeah, he's kind of let in on that. And then there's a shopping montage where the shopkeeper is like hitting on him, and he keeps on trying on suits. It doesn't do anything to further the plot, but my God, the suits.
Yeah, he can like really wear a suit. Good for him.
Yes.
Any of them.
Any of them.
Also, I like related to that lady. That would have been me. I would have been like, nice.
Good job. Congrats.
Congrats to you as a whole, you know? Like,
yeah, like wow.
God.
Then he accidentally goes viral. Somebody like filmed him opening up like a door for somebody, and he just kept on letting people out of the door, which like relatable. I get that. That's a thing.
that is literally you.
I do that all the time. But he went viral for it because he's handsome. Dawn is like getting lunch with her friends, and she is so like hot and bitchy that like she looked at a dog and it pissed itself, like it peed. Which is the funniest thing to me. She literally looked at the dog and it was like, oh no, I'm intimidated.
She's scary.
She is kind of
I would be afraid of her.
Oh God, I want to be her. I want to be her. Like I never could. It couldn't.
Just like her resting face, I'd be like,
yeah, she's scary. It's cool.
Yeah.
So her friends are kind of being rude, and so she wants to like show them up, and so Sungjoon drives over to her and like picks her up in the rain, and they're all like, "Oh my God, he's hot!" I'm like, "Yeah, he is."
Hot guy number 2.
Hot guy number 2. That's what we call him.
For great reason.
So people are after Sungjoon. So Dawn took him to the apartment she bought by the village to kind of like hide him and save him. And then Ree is like trying to find Cholgang in South Korea. He ends up getting double crossed by like this gang. And it turns out that Cholgang is actually in the parking lot at Seri's work, and he's like intimidating her, right? Like he's talking to her, he's talking about how he's gonna kill her, like he's got a gun. And then Ree like calls Seri's phone and Cholgang answers, which is scary. I say of the cliffhangers, this is probably the weakest one. It just doesn't like.
Yeah, I would agree. We know.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah. So Seri's like trying to like walk into the parking lot. Somebody grabs her. It's Ree, and that's the end of this episode. It was just like it was fine.
Yeah.
All right.
It was fine.
I wrote down, I didn't, but yeah, somebody said he was GGW, which is God's gift to women, which
True.
Whoever said that, I relate. I agree. Beautiful. Also, question. Was this
Yes.
the episode where the other soldiers came?
No.
What episode are we on? Because
We were
11?
we're on episode 11. I believe that
I wrote down the sauna.
is that in episode 11?
Yeah.
Hold on.
And then in episode 10, I said soldiers also came.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have any notes about them, which is crazy to me because I know that because the first note I have about them being in South Korea is for episode 12.
Okay, important thing. Episode 10, when Captain Rhee's dad found out that Captain Rhee, sprawled off to South Korea, he literally
I found it.
he basically was like, you guys have to go and get him and bring him back. And so they went on the national team, right? Of some,
for the military games or something.
Yeah. And so they all went to find him and bring him back. But they've also never been to South Korea before, so they don't know anything. They're like, look at all this stuff and this and the capitalism and
they knew that we were coming, so they brought all of the cars to the streets so that we'd be impressed.
Oh.
They're the humor of this show, and it's just
Chiseul's especially, just because he's so Pigeon, especially because he's so oh no, this is a lie. This is a capitalist lie. I'm like, oh, Pigeon.
And they're trying to recruit the hot guy.
So that's episode 12, and I have that in my notes. That's my first note. So episode 12, the troops are in Seoul looking for Seri. So they each kind of split up, and the child, the 17-year-old, ends up at an internet cafe and starts playing video games. And Rhee is playing video games at Seri's house, which they end up meeting each other in the video game and not realizing that it's the other. Hot guy number 1, our friend.
I don't know.
Our friend, who was beautiful, he kept on getting approached by different companies to get on their label. So he literally throws all of these cards for SM and JYP and YG into the middle of this pile. And I didn't get the joke the first time I watched it.
Oh.
And then the second time I was like, oh my God, they're all record labels.
Yeah.
They're all companies. Which is very funny because
is funny.
Beautiful. He looks like an idol. So.
He does.
He kind of looks like Jin. We've talked about it.
A little bit.
Worldwide handsome. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, also, this is taking place at a sauna, which is so funny to me because they didn't know where to stay.
No.
But what are we supposed to do? So they're just staying at this sauna. And that's just crazy to me because we don't have those. Seeing them sleeping at this place amongst a bunch of other people, wild.
It's really funny. Oh,
they also didn't know you had to pay for some of the things, which is funny.
Yeah, they got snacks and stuff. End up spending all of their money because they didn't know. Is this the episode that Chiseul accidentally gets a job at a chicken place?
Yep.
Yeah, because remember they all had to do something. That's why the hockey business cards. Yeah. Dude, Pigeon, that was freaking wild too because they kept missing each other. The kid who was playing games against Captain Rhee, they didn't know they were playing against each other. And then Pigeon was a delivery man at a chicken place. And Captain Rhee called to get some chicken, and Pigeon hung up the phone. He didn't even talk to him. He was just sick of the ringing, so he hung up the phone.
Yeah.
They just kept
the near misses because everything is fate in this television show. Everything. So they end up going to this Seri's Choice event for furniture, a furniture store. And Rhee sees the troops. The troops keep on asking salespeople if they can speak to the chairwoman, if they can speak to the head of the company, and they're like, no. And the kid ends up falling asleep in the bed.
And then they know they're gonna get arrested or people from North Korea, so they freaking sprint out of that store, man.
Yeah.
Shoes. Gone.
So Rhee follows them, gives the kid his shoes back.
Heartwarming moment of tears and hugs.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It was really sweet. Sari gets to see them, and they all go back to Sari's house.
And you know what's funny? They're like so just like captivated by her house and like everything about it. Like
Mhm.
Sweet Mo, her
Her
house.
house is really cool. The door. That's the
Yeah.
door. I'm obsessed with like the thumbprint door handle. That's all I want.
Honestly, yeah, that was cool.
Living in the future. So it's Sari's birthday, and Sari's mom, when she was little, like abandoned her on a beach and told her to like count or something, and that she'd be right back. And like kid,
Oh my
yeah,
god.
very sad, very sad. And it was on Sari's birthday.
Mm.
The kid like ended up out on a beach all night and almost froze to death because it was like February, like right now.
Mm.
So it was just sad. Her birthday isn't a good time for her.
Yeah.
Pause. Why do I feel like that happens in a lot of television shows or movies where the parent will like abandon the kid and be like, "Here, stay here. I'll be right back," and then they never come back. It's
Yeah.
so like, if you're gonna abandon your kid, can't you leave them with someone? Like, why do you leave them on their own?
I
That
don't know.
traumatize them even more. I mean, I guess they don't care at that point, but like, dang, put them in someone's care and then leave.
I wonder about this a lot though, because like so like her mom isn't like her real mom, right? Like the
Isn't
whatever.
her biological mom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, where was her dad during this? You know, like how's her dad just gonna let her just like take this child at night and like
Well,
leave
he's-
her on the beach?
He's the lead of a conglomerate. He probably wasn't home. He was probably going and impregnating other people. I don't know.
Gosh. Probably. Oh, yeah, you're right. Sad.
But yeah, so she ended up getting found, and like her mom came back, like felt bad, like realized, oh my god, I just had a mental breakdown. Let me go get my kid.
Yeah.
But like everything changed after that,
Mhm.
clearly.
As it would.
As it would, yeah. Yeah. Like Sari only wanted to love her. Like, and it just she realized that she wasn't gonna get anything back.
Mhm.
That's depressing. So anyway, manager manager O, who is like a super side character, who's like the manager for Sungjoon, and kind of like got him in contact with Chulgang. Manager O had Sari's second brother, the bad one, meet with Chulgang to take her back to North Korea. He was like, take her back. We don't want her. I'm the president of my family's company. I just think it's called Queen's Group, but I don't remember if that's right. So that's bad. It's not great.
Like,
Yeah.
literally everything was just like happening at once. Wow.
Yeah.
Like,
It was a lot.
yeah. I was trying to think when never mind, that's later.
Okay. So Sari like left and like came back home, and her house was empty, and she had a breakdown. She was like, they left without saying goodbye, like everything must have ended, and she just started crying. And then the troops and Ree come like out from behind a wall with like a cake and flowers and stuff, all with like birthday hats, and they were like surprised. I felt so bad.
Yeah, that was like heartbreaking. Like, poor girl. Like,
You know,
like one
Traumatized.
birthday. Yeah.
so like she runs out because she doesn't want them to like see her crying or whatever, and Ree goes after her and says that he loves her.
What a great birthday present.
But, yeah. Turned
Honestly.
around a little bit.
Yeah. So that's the end of the 12th episode. We're on to 13.
That guy sees
Yes.
him.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That guy sees him, and then the rat comes out and is like, "Is everything okay? Are we fine?" And then the bad guy sees the rat,
Yeah.
and he's
Mhm.
like, "Oh no, whose side is he on?
Mm-hmm.
I will find you, Pill, and take him down." You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Take down that like 10-year-old or whatever. Sure.
Well, that's what his plan was.
I know. He's evil. He's a bad guy. Episode 13 starts, and Sari tells Ree that he should go back to North Korea with the troops. She doesn't want him to get into any more trouble, basically. And for her birthday, he's like, okay, whatever. He gives her couples rings for her birthday.
Yeah. That was a lot like wedding rings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot like wedding rings.
Like just simple gold bands. Very cute. It was adorable. She said that she won't take it off, which was nice because she definitely sold that engagement ring that Sung Joon gave her like the second that she could.
Yep.
Speaking of Sung Joon, he admits that he has a crush on Don. Sorry, her name is Don, not Dan. So he admits that he has a crush on her right in front of her mom, and her mom's like, "Who's that?" I get it. Sari gives the troops her black card to spend it however they want, and like the kid just like wants to have like a school uniform.
Yeah. And those cute hats, those you click the things and then the ears flop. I thought that was adorable.
So cute.
But like relatable.
So
I would want one of those too, probably.
I would too.
Yeah. And this is the episode where Cholgang corners the rat and threatens Yupil's life. And basically is like, you have to work for me and like double cross them or your kid's gonna die. It's just sad. This is also the episode where Chisel Pigeon gets almost tricked into a cult. Like it's just like a passing joke that again I didn't understand my first time through, and then on my second viewing I was like, he says that he was like, after shopping, I look like a sole resident. Somebody asked me for directions. And Sari's like, oh, okay. So in Korea, there are these like people who are like, hey, can you give me the directions to this place? And if you try to help them, they'll like recruit you into their cult, basically.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We know out of all of us, Sam would get.
Listen, yes, I'm the one most likely to try to be helpful and end up either in a cult situation or in a like Ted Bundy situation.
Oh,
I know that. I know.
Bundied. That's fine.
I'd get Ted Bundied
You're very helpful. That's a good thing.
in some cases.
Yeah, go to mad. But always, it's always good because you're coming from the heart. You're a good person.
Yeah.
I'm a good person, but I'm scared of people, so I don't know.
And you know, I couldn't crawl away. I'm just stuck.
Yeah. Don't let anyone know. Well, now they know that you're scared of tunnels. So if someone wants to get you, put you in a tunnel and you're stuck.
Oh God.
Me and Sammy will come save you.
Our K-drama friend, who we haven't talked about in a while, the one who was like super obsessed with K-dramas, got to actually go on a date with his favorite actress.
He was so cute when that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like his face, just like
It was adorable. Good for him. He was so like adorable.
He didn't know what was going on. He was just sitting there with a funny little hat on, and then all of a sudden, there she was.
There she is.
No.
So yeah, like super cute, like funny things happen, and then all of a sudden, like Sari gets a call from her brother, and he's like, "Oh hey, go somewhere." I don't like really know how out, but he like looks at Cholgang and goes, "I don't care if you kill her."
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is sad again. Oh man. And Sari is like driving, and they get cut off by all of these cars. But then the troops come out in these suits and start fighting everybody. And then as this is happening, Ri is in a warehouse fighting all of Cholgang's people on his own, like he's Bruce Lee or something, like crazy. Insanity.
The little soldiers fighting, that was funny though, because the little kid, the 17-year-old, just like clung onto somebody's back, and it was me in a fight. Like that's what I would do.
Yep. Yeah. It was great. It was really funny. So like this big fight happens. Sari drives the rest of, once the fight is over with all of the dudes that like cornered her, they won. So she drives all of the troops to the warehouse to fight Cholgang, and Cholgang like grabs the rat and pulls him like out into the open where Sari is, and there's a tussle, and then Ri comes out and he's like running towards them, and Cholgang has a gun, and Sari drives in front of Ri and takes a bullet for him somehow. She drives in front of the bullet and gets shot.
Here.
She drives in front of the bullet, and then Rhee shoots at Cholgong, but then the rat ends up like actually shooting Cholgong.
Did he though?
He
Because, like,
did.
he got shot, but like the rat really could have just like
He should have double
Yeah.
tapped for sure.
Mhm.
For sure. But so Rhee like opens up the car door and Sari like immediately falls out of the car bleeding, and he's crying and I'm crying and that
We're all crying.
we're all crying and that freaking song is playing that they play at the end. What's like it's something called like Flower or something. I don't know, man. It was emotional.
Yeah.
And then the other soldiers like come out and they're like, oh,
They're all standing around her watching her like
oh yeah, they could have
bleeding
die.
out. Essentially, yeah. So that's the end of episode 13.
That's a cliffhanger there. That's not a
Honestly,
Yeah.
what was
Yeah.
that? Episode 12, episode 11 cliffhanger. That's
yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that was like
this one though.
a real one because like this time like you're close to the end of like she could die. You know what I mean?
true.
She could die.
Yeah, I really wasn't sure.
I know.
Yeah, no, for real. She like I was kind of confused like where they had the bullet like hit her. Didn't
Yeah.
seem like that was correct, but like whatever.
Yeah, because it was kind of like in her side.
Yeah. Had to go
Like-
through like a car door, you know, like it didn't, but sad nonetheless. Didn't know
Very
what was gonna
sad.
happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we go into episode 14 and the military games thing has passed. The bus leaves without the troops. So they're stuck in South Korea.
What a
and-
world. Stuck
yeah.
in South Korea when you're
Yeah.
from North Korea. I'm good.
Okay, well, let's not go too crazy, guys. Don't. Anyway.
Anyway.
I'm so scared about getting. Still
Listen,
scared.
we have already established that I'm the only one that couldn't get out, apparently. So
True.
anyway,
We've already talked about
Said-
that today. They'll already come after us. It's fine.
it's fine. It's cool. Sari's in the hospital, and Sari's mom noticed that Rhee was like waiting outside of her hospital room.
You did
And
not
the-
leave.
He did not leave, not once. He couldn't like be in the room with her, but obviously he was like waiting at the door, like watching. And the troops are waiting outside the hospital, just like everybody's just hoping that she goes through.
Oh my god! And Pigeon was like, "I'll give her my blood." That was freaking. Because when Captain Rhee was hurt before, she was like, "I can give him my blood."
Mhm.
Pigeon remembered that and was like, "If she needs blood, I can give it to her." And then there's like probably an abundance of blood in this hospital. It's like really
Yeah.
sweet. You saw their
It
like
was.
relationship, like
Yeah, you can tell that they all like really care about her, which was nice. That was while this is happening, we find out that Cholgong survived the shooting, and like immediately it's like, where is she? I'm gonna kill her again. like he's just a man with a plan, and the plan is to end her. You know,
that really could have just ended that whole thing there.
yeah,
You know?
Mhm.
yeah. Sari's family fire Rhee as her bodyguard because he's been like pretending that he's her bodyguard while he's in Seoul, and they say, okay, we don't need you anymore. Clearly you didn't work. She's shot.
It's those freaking sister-in-laws, those
Yeah.
awful girls.
Mhm.
Who are married to awful boys. Like
Yeah, that's-
everyone
Everyone's awful.
everyone in that family is just toxic. It's fine. Don's mom finds out that Rhee was having an affair with Sari, and she's like, Don, don't marry him then. I just want you to be happy.
Mm.
It's nice, you know.
Also
Mhm.
character development.
Mhm.
I don't think she would have
Mm-mm.
said that earlier.
No.
Then Sari wakes up from her coma, and immediately, like, her first thing is telling her brothers and sister-in-laws to buzz off. And I'm like, who decided on that? Like, was that an Americanization? Who translated buzz off? Because that's hilarious to me. I hope that the first thing, if I'm ever in a coma, which I hope I'm not, but like if I were, just to be like, buzz off.
Wow. Yes, I hope that never happens for you. Maybe you could do it when you're like asleep, like when you wake up
You wake up, buzz off.
and like Justin's there or something. Just say buzz off.
Oh, I do.
Oh. I like that's already an occurrence every day.
It's not buzz though.
Oh.
So Seri wakes up, she calls Ree, and she's like crying, and she's like, why did you leave? I miss you. So he like runs to her.
Where is this in my life? I obviously don't want the dramatics with the shooting, but
again, nobody wants to be in a coma, but they want Captain Ree. That's
pretty much.
So we find out that the rat like bugged Seri's room just in case. So they have all of this like audio recordings of her brother and sister-in-law like just talking shit the entire time. Like not great.
They're acting like it's a TV show too, which is so funny.
Yeah. They're all like listening in.
Like, oh, this is happening now and that's happening. It was funny.
We get a recording of Seri's mom like apologizing and talking about when she left her at the beach and begging her to come back so that she can actually like give her love and affection this time. It's like, man, it only took you like 30 years. That's fine.
Took her being
back in North Korea, Don ends up punching Sung-joon because he asked for a hug.
That's the energy I want to have, though. I enjoy. Yeah.
Same.
Then he said that she was pretty and that he wanted to be a better man for her, and she kissed him. So, you know, two sides of the coin.
Yep.
The brother and sister get arrested because she uses audio recordings to prove that like they conspired against her to like send her back to North Korea or murder her. So that's cool.
Yeah.
They were the worst. Like the other brother and sister weren't great, but like
second brother and sister-in-law, awful people. Awful. And then we find out that like the cops have been following Ree this entire time. Like they knew that somebody had come from North Korea into South Korea because they found a pin in the cave that Ree came out of.
Is that the same tunnel that the bad guy came out of?
Yeah.
Could have been his.
It could have been. We'll blame it on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it probably was his.
Probably. So the cops are following Ree because they know he's from North Korea, but Ree is like trying to find manager Oh and Chulgong to like put an end to this once and for all. So Ree like is about to shoot Chulgong, and the cops, like all of these snipers, end up like pointing like their little lasers, and they're pointing at Ree and they're pointing at Chulgong, and it's like, what's gonna happen? So that's crazy. It's like a last stand kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then they cut to Ree like recording himself playing the piano and talking to Seri for when she needs to sleep, and he like took care of her. He like filled her pantry and taught her how to like make noodles like on this little paper, and he just wants her to sleep and eat well and stay healthy.
A man. There's really nothing else to say.
No, there's not.
Oh man
is right.
Yeah, so that's the end of episode 14. We move into episode 15.
We're getting so close to the end.
I know. This freaking story, man.
I didn't even write down any notes for the for the last 3 episodes because I was just like watching it. Like I couldn't. I was like, I can't.
You have to just continue. Yeah. No, I get that. I didn't have a lot of notes for episode 15 just because I was so like sucked in. So it begins with Chulgong getting killed by the police because he makes a lunge towards Captain Ree and just gets, shot. The police obviously arrest Captain Ree and come to apprehend his troops. Seri like gets up in the hospital and is like fighting for them, and they're just like, no, stay, like you have to rest. And then they end up in a South Korean detention center, which is very different from the one that they portrayed.
Truly, like very nice.
I'm making no comparisons. I don't even know. So yeah, they seem to be well taken care of in this detention center. Like Pigeon is like, don't trust them. Like don't eat together. Like they're just being nice right now, but they were just like,
so traumatized from life.
So Ree decides that he's just gonna like cut Seri off completely. He's like, I don't want her to get in trouble for anything that I've done, so I'm just gonna pretend like there's nothing between us, and that then she won't be implicated in anything that I've done. Like he's trying to protect her, but in doing it, he cuts her off so completely. Like she's crying, and like they brought her in to talk to him, right? To get him to like like admit what was going on. And she is so heartbroken by the way that he treated her that she like collapses in the hallway, and she ends up like getting sepsis or something. Like she's so heartbroken that her blood like decides to stop working.
No, he was so like straight faced, like you couldn't even tell that he like had any type of feeling towards her, which was insane to me. He's like, yeah, I just want to kidnap her and take her back to North Korea because she's rich. Like,
yeah, it kind of makes me want to cry.
I know. Why couldn't he just tell, I don't know, not tell the truth, but yeah, like I feel like when there's defectors from North Korea who come to South Korea, don't they let them stay? So he was already there. Couldn't he have stayed? Had his whole troop, then he has the whole troop there to stay with him.
But here's the thing. Once again, we have to go back to the responsibility. His mother and father are still there. And the troop has a 17-year-old. The 17-year-old kid constantly is talking about his mom and his little siblings and wondering if they're going to be okay. Could you imagine if he defected and his family was just like punished for that?
I just feel like that's like the hard, like anybody who defects, like I don't think your whole family sometimes can come, so you like have to make that choice. Like I feel like the family would, I don't know. Obviously I've never been in that situation. I'm just like, just stay.
And they do ask them, like, and none of them would, you know, but especially considering, you know, if they don't go back, then there will be major implications for, especially for Rhee's dad, who's the one who sent them.
Listen, they could have just waited. That man was old, right? Right? They could have just.
Yeah, but the 17-year-old's little siblings aren't old.
Well,
you're right.
Like they've all got families.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's tough.
I mean, yeah, I'm glad it's not me. Like, I'm glad that I'm not in that situation.
Me too.
Man, this is a really emotionally, this episode is bad. I mean, it's great. It's so good, but it's like, Sari collapses, gets sepsis, has to go through like these emergency surgeries. And as this is happening, we flash back to North Korea, and
oh God.
Sungjun is like about to leave North Korea. He's at an airport, and Don gets kidnapped to lure Sungjun back to them. And
dude goes in this freaking ready to freaking like take like 30 people to save her by himself with this just like one gun, and he's wearing like white pants. Really big.
The white pants.
He's so oh my God.
Wait, before that he rips his airport ticket, which I thought was like,
it's a commitment.
Ripped it, and he's like, I'm gonna go save her life. Walks in wearing a brown leather jacket, some white pants, and a turtleneck.
with his skeet shooting gun. It was a rifle. It was like nothing. And he protects her, but he gets shot in the process.
You know, I think this, like, you know, whatever happens with Captain Rhee and Sari, very sad that comes up. But this was so heart-wrenching because they were in love too.
Yeah, they were in love. And the thing is, there was growth between Sari and Rhee, but like the growth between Sungjun and Dan is like you just were so invested, you know what I mean? Because they were in such different places when they started out, and then grew.
Yeah, and you knew their stories. Like, they're both like sad people, so they were finally like happy.
And then he gets shot, and I was so convinced. I was like, they won't do this to me. They can't do this to me. He's gonna be okay in the next episode. Everybody, not every single person who has been shot in this entire freaking show has survived.
For 15 episodes.
15 episodes. There have been so many gunshots, and everyone has survived. And the first freaking time I needed it. He died.
Oh my God. And the way they put together in this show, it was like they had him like in the ambulance, like ready to die, and then Sari like ready to die. So you knew
juxtaposed.
One of them
was going. Damn. And it was kind of like,
and it's probably not going to be Sari, the lead character.
Yeah, kind of knew. Dawn was like a mess, which obviously, but like that was awful to watch.
It was like hurts. It actually hurts to think about.
heart-wrenching.
Yeah, but so good. I mean, obviously, it's a well done show if you can
Oh.
be so invested in these people that you know
True.
that aren't real.
I hate it though. It's too much. Then it affects it affects your day. Then like you can't like move on because you're like
Yeah. So while Sari is like going through her surgery for her heartbreak induced sepsis, the cops like let Rhea into like an observation room, which I didn't know that they had observation rooms.
Me neither.
I don't know if that's like a real
whole
thing, but they let him in, and she, you hear a flatline and a voiceover from Sari that says that she would do it all over again if it meant that she got to meet him. And as that voiceover is going, Captain Rhea is saying, "I would change everything, and if it meant that you would be alive."
Oh my gosh.
And that's the end of the 15th. penultimate episode.
Yeah.
Crash landing on you.
No words.
No
I was gonna
words.
say I have like that was the most emotional like I have never in my life cried over a freaking TV show.
Really?
This one-
Really?
Yeah. Oh no. Not
Oh, no.
Says the Capricorn.
A stunted Capricorn, I believe. No, it's like so many tears, so much, just like
Yeah. No,
It's not
I'm
over
with
yet.
you.
Is
It's not.
I know. We still have a whole episode.
Are you ready? Are you guys ready to talk about the last episode of Crash Landing on You?
I'm sad.
Me too. We were all rooting for Sungjun, for our boy Goo, for hot guy number 2, and like rip to a real one.
Really sad. Really.
Okay, so episode 16, our final episode. We see that Sari was saved and Sungjun, as you guys know, wasn't. And South Korea and North Korea come to an understanding that they will be trading prisoners, which is another reason the North Koreans can't defect, is because they are literally being traded for South Koreans that were being detained. So Sari's mom comes in and tells her that Rhee's leaving and that he stayed by her side while she was in critical condition, because the last thing that Sari remembers is being completely like cut off and cold, and that he didn't want her. So she decides to like follow the bus to like say goodbye to him one last time, like before he goes back to North Korea, and they don't make it. The troops and Rhee have crossed into North Korea by the time Sari's like parking and running towards him, and he says don't run, and she keeps on running, and he says don't run. So he crosses back into across the line back into South Korea and holds her, and everybody's got their guns up and they're just like holding each other, and he's like, you need to be like safe and careful, don't run, like you've got injuries.
They're like crying for obvious reasons, but it's just like
It's a lot.
it was. And I kind of thought the like main cop guy who was like dealing with Captain Rhee, like he knew they were in love. He knew
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
he just like let it happen. And I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
They can have their little moment, like
Yeah.
Before they're separated forever.
It's their world, we're just living in it. So he tells her that she came into his life like a gift.
These writers, man.
I know every line that Captain Rhee has, if somebody said it to me, I don't even
Yeah.
I don't even know. So the troops say goodbye to Sari. Rhee says goodbye to Sari, and they leave.
heart been broke, like gut wrenching.
God,
Really cried. Really cried.
Yeah.
So
And-
much crying.
Mind you, this episode is 2 hours long. Like it was a long one.
Yeah.
So, like I was already crying into the first 30 minutes. I knew that this was not going to be a
Only the beginning.
Yeah. So immediately, like the troops like go towards where they're supposed to be detained, and the military director stopped them and like ambushed them and tried to kill them. But then Rhee's dad like comes walking out of the woods and kills the military director, which is crazy. Wild. We see Dawn go into like straight up bad bitch mode and like try to get revenge for Sungjun. Like It's good for her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Captain Rhee set up these text messages.
Yeah.
It reminded me of P.S. I Love You.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
He sent the letters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that one.
Oh my god.
Oh, we should do it.
Oh,
Yes, I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that movie.
YouTube, it's really sad.
It's really sad.
Really sad. He like set up these text messages that like were sent to Sari. Like
It was like preloaded
Yeah.
and
Wild
scheduled.
that can happen.
Yeah. Well, that's how we know that the cop knew that they were in love, because he gave him the cell phone and he was like, you can do this for up to a year. And like, obviously the cop like had to keep that phone on a charger or something in South Korea. So he was as invested in this relationship as we were.
True.
Yeah. He like reminded her to like exercise and like go out into the wild and I guess the woods, not the wild stuff.
Yeah. He sent her a little pot that was already preloaded, like with seeds, and he was like, keep it in moderate sunlight and take care of it and say 10 nice words a day. And he rearranged her books in her bookshelf to say, I love you, Yoon Sari.
That's thoughtfulness.
I know.
It's thoughtfulness for me. I can't.
So you can only preload those text messages to a year. So the last messages were basically like, the flowers I've sent you should have grown by now. Go to where the flowers are grown and we will meet again someday. And the flowers were Edelweiss, which of course are in Switzerland, which is the place where they first met each other. So the plan is that Rhee became he left the military and became a pianist for the National Orchestra for North Korea, and our boy Pigeon Chisul became the captain. And the village women were like, oh crap, like not into it. Oh, another thing about the village women that I just thought was the sweetest and most thoughtful thing is Sari's Choice made skincare. And on the skincare, it was named after the women in the village and had like beautiful portraits of them done. And
it's wild to me that she could remember them so clear
yeah,
put their faces on, like, because she didn't have pictures of them, so she had to like describe that to someone. They were so on point. Wow.
Yeah, my memory could never do that.
And there was the word that they used, I think it was called like saudade. It's a Portuguese word that means like nostalgia for a person, like remembering somebody with sadness. That was something that I looked up while I was watching it, because it was like, what does that mean? Why is that important? And when I looked it up, I cried because I was like, oh my god. Very thoughtful and sweet. So Sari lets her older brother basically be the president of the Queen's group, and then convinces him to create a scholarship for children to study music in Switzerland. Yeah. So every year for 2 weeks out of the year, she goes to Switzerland for this scholarship for a concert.
Just wanting to find her man.
Yeah. And like years go by and she's like always looking, and she's, she like holds out hope that they'll be able to see each other again someday. And you hear this like this voiceover of how she's always gonna wait for him or whatever. And she goes paragliding again. And as she lands, she laughs because she crashes into this field, and she goes, I can never stick the landing. And she stands up and he's in the field. And he says, I took the wrong train. Because he ended up in the field because he took the wrong train getting up the mountain. They found each other again. So they get to be together in Switzerland, like go to the concerts and spend time in, I guess, a house that they have there for 2 weeks out of the year. And that's their love story. That was Crash Landing on You.
Oh my gosh.
Crash into our freaking lives. First of all,
Truly.
I have questions about the ending. I want that to be known. I love it. Everything about it. The ending was the most disappointing shit that I've ever Because I get it, like I understand, but how could they like freaking 2 weeks out of the year?
Yeah. Yeah. But here's the thing, even if it is only 2 weeks, that's better than nothing. That's
Nothing.
better than never being able to see them again, right? Think about like like Hades and Persephone, you know? You gotta take the months that you have together, the time that you have together, and cherish it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of romantic.
Also, like, honestly, ideal relationship. Only having to say.
So I was gonna say.
Just kidding.
yourself.
Just kidding.
And then you got 2 weeks, and then
Huh.
you just live the rest of your life. It works for some people. Some people
Yeah, you're right.
like that.
And my guess, I would think, that guy, he's a part of the national orchestra. How many times did they get to like go out of North Korea to play things? He probably can like at least text her when he's in other countries.
Right.
True.
You're right. Still not how I wanted it to end though.
Yeah.
You know?
It was beautiful though. I mean, I get it because it is very sad that like it took them so long to find each other after everything happened, and you really do get that bittersweetness that it's only for a short amount of time. But can I just say, like, the drone footage in this show, of North Korea, of South Korea, of Switzerland, one of the most beautifully shot like television shows I've seen.
It really is. The cinematography in this show is fabulous.
It's amazing, which makes me laugh because like one of the worst tornadoes I've ever seen, but like a beautiful television show
the
overall.
CGI people company, they might not get hired back.
Yeah, no, but
I couldn't find any.
Siri on my watch.
Can you find Siri, please?
Oh, we did it! Oh my gosh,
we did it. We spent 25 hours watching this show. 50 for me and Sammy.
I would do it again.
Honestly,
I'd do it again. Maybe.
Do it all again for Captain Ray.
Yeah.
And you know what time it is, people? We have to rate the show. So, out of 100, you know the game.
I do.
Did you rate it?
Grae, do you want to go first?
Sure. Okay. I'm scared because I feel like you guys are. Not that I'm a bad review, but it's hard to get a 100.
Oh,
I really did enjoy it. I love the drama and the mixture of comedic moments as well. I would say an 85 out of 100. I think it was good. Of course, it wasn't perfect. It is a big time chunk, which it can be good and bad at times. But yeah, I'd say solid 85 out of 100 for me.
Fantastic. Personally, I loved this show. I'll probably watch it again. It's going to become one of like my comfort shows, where you just like this, and like if we're going other K-dramas, Boys Over Flowers, which has its own problems, but that's okay. We'll probably do it at some point in the future, so look forward to that. I would say I'd probably give it a 95.
Wow.
Yeah, I love this show. I know that there are problems. I know that it's not a perfect show, but you could hear it like from what I've been talking about. It made me happy, it made me sad, it made me believe in love. I mean, not that I didn't believe in love before, but like I think it could. There were parts that I didn't like, obviously, but I know I really liked the show.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I also really like the show, obviously. I would give it a 97. I would. I know.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Listen, just like for my own enjoyment and like everything that I got out of this show, and like I think especially because the first time I watched it, it was like quarantine and everything was just like sad. And I mean, still kind of is, but like not as much. But I like had nothing else to do, so I just watched it. I would love to give this show 100, but I still can't get over the ending. There's still like parts that just kind of disappointed me. Obviously, no show's perfect, but yeah, like a 97.
I can't believe that we're done talking about this show. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like we've spent, together, we've spent almost 6 hours just talking about this show.
I can't believe that.
And that's not even counting like the times that we talk about it. Me neither, Siri. Me neither.
Oh, Sari, shut your mouth.
But yeah, no, I'm glad that we got to experience it together.
Yeah. And you know, everybody out there should watch it on your own. Definitely get into the K-dramas. It's great television, great storylines, great quality.
Yeah.
So branch out into something you've never tried before, like I did, and I think you're really gonna like it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think, like I said before, people who don't want to watch something because they have to read subtitles are truly missing out on, quality content.
Absolutely. No, I completely agree. And I mean, if you really have a problem with subtitles, do what I'm doing. Learn Korean.
There you go.
A simple solution.
A simple solution.
That won't take long at all.
No, not at all. I've been studying for 3 months and I've got, do you want to go to the karaoke? That's all I got.
What a ride.
Oh
I know.
I feel like I don't even know like who I am anymore, honestly. Okay, well, guys, what are your plans for February? Do you have anything fun going on?
Do I? Nope. What do you, Sam? I feel like you gotta have something planned. Valentine's Day.
This is my least favorite month of the year. I don't celebrate Valentine's Day.
Oh, I forgot. Well, all of
yeah.
us will not be celebrating, so.
Yeah, it's which is fine. I'm thankful every year that February is the shortest month of the year because I hate this month. So I don't really have a whole lot planned, just grad school stuff, writing, researching.
I will say it is Black History Month this month, so
yes.
Happy Black History Month. That is probably the only positive about February.
100%.
No, this is the suckiest month. It should have been another month, but don't get me started. Anywho, but
it should be June, honestly. Like celebrate Juneteenth.
It should have been.
Summer
month.
It should have been.
But yeah, we still got Juneteenth. I mean, June is what, Pride Month?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be Pride Month and Black History Month. We're just gonna put them together.
It's still February. We'll talk about that at some other point. Yeah. Do you guys have any ideas for what we're going to be doing next?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh no. I have 2 ideas.
Okay.
Ooh.
For one, I really want to talk about Beauty and the Beast, the real one versus the cartoon one. I saw this like Twitter thread talking about something, so that would be fun. And then I saw a TikTok of a Netflix movie. I have to find the TikTok. I didn't write down the movie title. Should have done that.
Oh no.
I'll tell you guys. It's the title. It's fine.
Can you explain the movie, maybe?
Oh yeah, sure. So apparently, it's like they live in this place where you can only have like one kid.
Oh no! What happened to Monday?
Yeah.
Can we please do that? I've been wanting. That's been on my list for like a long time.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yes, I think we should do that.
Vote for that.
Okay.
Because it's been on my list to watch.
And it's called What Happened to Monday?
I think so. Something like that.
I have no idea. Every kid was named a different day of the week because they could only go out that day of the week. Yes. And then one was missing. So the girl sold it. She was like, if somebody chops off a finger, everyone has to chop off a finger. So they all
saw that same TikTok.
So I was like, I'm watching that at some point, sure.
Yes, I'm down.
Wait, does this remind me of I Know Who Killed Me? Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So I guess March 1st, we're going to be talking about What Happened to Monday, which is on Netflix. So that's good. If you guys want to check it out before we review it, that'd be awesome. Is there anything else we want to talk about?
I think that's it.
Huh?
The love is real.
Love is real.
It is real.
Yeah, if you could, take this 25-hour experience and boil it down to one sentence, I think it would be love is real.
Love is real.
Love is real.
Love is real.
Whether it be romantic or platonic or friendship. Love is real.
Love is real.
So go love somebody today. That's your challenge.
Even if that someone is yourself.
Yes, that's one of the most important people to love, truly.
100%. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. We've been easily entertained, and we hope you have been too. Bye, everybody.
Bye.